Welcome back to On the Same Page. We are on Daf Zayin Amud Aleph, page 7a of Maseches Taanis, and we are on the second line of the page. The first word is Ha-Hodos, then it says Amar Rabbi Abo. Amar Rabbi Abo said, Gadol Yom HaGeshamim Mitrias HaMesim. A day that it rains is even greater than the act or the day of the resurrection of the dead, of Trias HaMesim. Why? In what way? In what aspect? De'ilu Trias HaMesim LaTzadikim Ve'ilu Geshamim Bein LaTzadikim Bein LaRashayim. Because Trias HaMesim, the resurrection, will only be for the righteous, and rain benefits both the righteous and the wicked. And so in a certain aspect, rain is even greater than Trias HaMesim insofar as it applies to both tzaddikim and rishayim, the righteous and the wicked. Upli Gad Rav Yosef. Now this statement that the rain is even greater is at odds with the statement of Rav Yosef. De'amar Rav Yosef said, Mitoch shehi shkula k'trias hamesim, kavua b'trias hamesim. Because the rain is equal to trias hamesim, so therefore it was included in the blessing of trias hamesim, the resurrection, meaning in the second blessing of Shemona Esrei Mechayei HaMesim, which talks about the resurrection. That's where we also say Mashiv Ruach Morid Ageshem, that God, we praise God for rain. So the way that Rabbi Yosef says it is, the reason is because it's equal to Trias HaMesim. And conceptually they are kind of similar in that the rain allows, what happens is the seed rots and then begins to grow. Similarly, that's how the resurrection occurs, as the body rots and then eventually will come forth from the ground again. So they have that similarity, that relationship, and the way Rabbi Yosef said it was they're equal. So that's different. That seems to be at odds with what Rabbi Abo said, who said that rain is even greater. Amar Rabbi Yehuda said, Gadol Yom HaGeshamim Ki Yom Shenitna Bo Torah. A day that it rains is as great as the day that the Torah was given. Shenemar, and he has a pasuk to prove this, because the pasuk says in Parshas Ha'azinu, in the Shira, in the song of Ha'azinu, it says, Ya'arof kamatar likri. It says that my lekach, my possession, my acquisition, will drop like rain. And what is likri? What is this lekach? What is this acquisition? Ve'en lekach ala Torah. It refers to the Torah. Shenemar, as the pasuk says in Tehillim, the pasuk says, it's in Mishlei. In Mishlei, the pasuk says, Ki lekach tov nasati lachem tarasi al ta'azovu. I have given you a lekach tov, a good acquisition, my Torah, do not abandon it. So you see that the Torah is called a lekach, and so the pasuk that says Yarof kamatar likri, that my lekach will drop like rain, so that refers to the Torah. So we see, says Rabbi Yehuda, that the rain is the giving of the Torah is compared to the falling of rain. We see that a rainfall is as great as the giving of the Torah. Rava Amar Yoser Miyom Shenitna Torah. Rava says it's even greater than the day that the Torah is given. Shenemar Yarov Kamatar Likri, because it says, let my lekach, let my Torah drop like rain. That the Torah is like rain. Now says Rava, mi nitle b'mi. When you want to say that something is like something, so what depends on the other? What hangs on the other? Havi Omer kata nitle begadol. You hinge, you condition the smaller thing on the greater thing. Meaning, you say, my house is like a mansion. So the mansion is bigger, right? That house is like a mansion. So here, if you're saying that my lekach is like rain, the Torah is like rain, so you're saying rain is greater, but the Torah is like it. And so Rava says that a day that it rains is even greater than the day that the Torah was given. Now, this obviously requires further exploration as to what exactly Rava means by that. Okay, Rava said also, Rava Rami. Rava asked a contradiction. Ksiv Yarov Kamatar Likhi. That verse that we're quoting, it begins, let my Torah drop like rain. But then it continues and it says, Uksiv, and it says, Tizal Katal Imrasi. Let it drip like dew, my words. Again, the Torah. Let the Torah drip like dew. So on the one hand it says, let it fall like rain, like it drop like rain. And then it says, let it drip like dew, which is much lighter. So which one is it? How do we compare the Torah, the giving of the Torah? So the Gemara explains, or Rava seemingly explained it, Im Talmid Chacham Hagon Hu Kital. That when it comes to Torah, if the person is a Talmid Chacham, Hagun, a proper Talmid Chacham, meaning, seemingly as we'll see in the continuation, that we're talking about somebody who learns for the right reason, someone who's dedicated. So then, Kital, then it's like small drops, it's light, it's drips of dew, it comes lightly and easily. However, Ve'imulav, but if not, if the student is not Hagun, he's not proper, he's not appropriate, so then, Orfeu Kamatar, then it will, Orfeu here could mean like smash or kill him, like rain. Not that it will literally kill him, but somebody who learns Torah for the wrong purposes, or doesn't have the triga appropriately, the study of Torah, so then it can have a negative effect on them. So if he is a Talmid Chacham Hagum, if he is appropriate in his approach, so then it becomes lightly and easily, it's gentle with him. But if he's inappropriate, so then it smashes him like the rain. Gemara continues, says, Tanya, we're learning a brisa. Haya Rabbi Bana Omer. Rabbi Bana would say, Kol ha'osek b'Torah lishma. Anyone who learns Torah for the right purposes, or lishma, for its sake, and the way Rashi explains it here, it means because God has commanded him to, and not just to get respect and fame, but he learns Torah because that's what it's lishma. It's for God's sake. That's what God commanded him to do. So then, Toraso nasislo samchayim. Then the Torah becomes like an elixir of life for him. Shenemar, as it says, Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba. It's a tree of life for those who strengthen it or gain strength in it. But if it's done for the right sake, so then it could be Eitz chaim, it could be a tree of life, an elixir of life. It can infuse a person with life. The Omer also says in Mishlei, they're both in Mishlei. It says rifus tehi lisharecha. It will be refuah. It will be healthy for the sharecha. It's translated as navel. For the person, it will be good. It will be pleasant. It will be healthy. The Omer also says ki motzi matzah chayim. Those who have found me have found life. It says that about Torah. Those who have found the Torah have found life. So the Torah has the ability to infuse a person with life. That's if one learns lishma for the proper reasons. They call osik b'Torah shelo lishma. But somebody who learns Torah for the wrong reasons, for just to be able to say, I'm great, I'm amazing, I know so much Torah, or even worse, to be able to debate others and bring them down. So then, nasis lo sama mavis. Then it's like a poison of death to him. Shenemar, as it says, and quote this pasuk, Yarov kamatar likhi, that my lekach can be Yarov like matar. It can drop like rain. But this word Yarov, the Gemara says, Ve'eng arifa el hariga. Arifa means killing. Where do we find it means killing? Shenemar, because we have the concept of egla arufa. Right? The egla arufa is when you find a body, between two cities. You don't know who killed it, so there's a whole process. But one of the steps is you bring a calf out and break its neck. That's the word, and that's called the egla rufa, the calf whose neck has been smashed. So that's the pasuk goes, v'arfu shames ha'agala banachal. You should axe the back of the neck, break the neck of the calf by the river. So we see that the word arfu here means to smash its neck, to break its neck. So that we're now applying to Yarov Kamatar Likli, that my lekach, my Torah, can smash one in the neck like rain, meaning and kill the person, meaning it could be like a poisoning of death to a person when learned Shalom Lishma. It can poison a person, it can ruin a person if it's done for the wrong purposes. Amalei Rabbi Yirmiyah le Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Yirmiyah said to Rabbi Zera, Leisimar lisni. Master, please come and teach. Teach, listen to you like from the word Mishnah. Teach a Mishnah, teach halacha. Amarle, so he said to him, Chalash libai. My heart is weak. I'm too weak to give a real deep halacha shir. I'm not able to. So Rabbi Yirmiyah wasn't done yet, so he said, Lema mar milsa dagata. Okay, fine. So Rabbi Zera, please tell us something agadic. Not halachic agadic, musar of some sort. So Amar Le, so he said to him, Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. This is what Rabbi Yochanan said. My dechsiv. What does the verse mean when it says, Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh? It says, when the Torah speaks about when you besiege a city, it talks about what you do with the trees, which we'll get to in a moment. But first it says, Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh, because man is the tree of the field. It says, because man is the tree of the field. So the Gemara says, what does that mean? Is man a tree of the field? What does the pasuk mean? Ella, so rather it's as follows. Mishum dichsev, because it says, actually right before this in the same verse, it says, Ki mimenu sochal, v'oso lo sichros. If you have a fruit tree, it says, you can't cut it down, because from it you will eat, and you may not cut it down. So it talks there about trees that you must eat, you should eat from and you shouldn't cut down. Uksiv, and then it also talks about trees that don't bear fruit, and it says, Ososa shlis v'charata. That one you could destroy and cut down. You could cut it down if you need to. So there's two different types of trees. Some that you shouldn't cut down because they have fruit, and some that you may cut down. So what about people? What about Adam? So haketzat. So how does this apply to people? So im tamid chacham hagam mimanu tochal. If he is a proper tamid chacham, appropriate, respectable, so then mimanu tochal, then you should eat from his fruit. You should learn from him. Ve'oso lo sichros, and you shouldn't cut him down. Ve'im lav, and if not, oso sashlis ve'karata, then you should cut him down. Rashi doesn't mean really cut him down, but you should leave him, you should abandon him. If he's not an appropriate person to learn from, then you shouldn't be learning from him. So the pasuk is saying, Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh, it's telling you, now take what we said about trees and apply it to man, because man is like the tree of the field. Meaning, there are certain people that you cut down, because they're not appropriate to learn from. There's certain people that, no, leave them, don't cut them down, go learn from them, go eat their fruit. Okay, first wide line it says, Amar Rabbi Chama, Amar Rabbi, or Amar Rabbi Chama, Rabbi Chanina. My dechsiv, what does the pasuk mean? In Mishlei, I believe. Pasuk says, Barzel v'barzel yachad. And then he actually continues and it says, we don't have this in our Gemara, but it says, V'ish Yachad Pnei Re'ehu. Barzel v'barzel yachad. Iron on iron is sharpened, will be sharpened, and one man will sharpen the face of his friend. What does that teach you? To tell you. Just like with iron, one piece sharpens the other. That's how you'll sharpen a piece of iron. So same with people. Two Talmidei Chachamim, two Torah scholars, they sharpen each other in halacha. The Gemara is telling us that to become sharp, you really need a partner. You need a chavrusa. If you learn on your own, you won't become sharp. But if you learn with someone else, that will sharpen you. Amar Rabba Bar Chana. Rabba Bar Chana said, Lama nimshlu divrei Torah ke'esh. Why is the Torah compared to fire? Where is it compared to fire? Shneimar, as the pasuk says, in Yirmiyah it says, Halo ko dvari ka'esh num Hashem. My word is like fire. That's the word of Hashem. So we see the word of God, the Torah, is like fire. So why is it like fire? In what way is it like fire? So Lomar Lech, to tell you, Ma'esh eino dolek yechidi, just like fire, you can't light on its own. Meaning if you have one piece of wood, one twig, it won't light. You can wave it in the air, it's not going to light. Af divrei Torah in miskaiming b'yechidi. So too, divrei Torah will not be established on an individual, will not remain with an individual. Meaning, again, the same idea that when it comes to creating fire, you need two pieces to create a fire, two pieces of wood to rub against each other. So too, when it comes to Torah, in order to create Torah, to have lasting Torah, to have a lasting flame of Torah, you need two pieces to rub against each other. You need a study partner to sharpen you and to create that fire. V'hainu da'am Rabbi Yossi bar Chanina, and that fits in with what Rabbi Yossi bar Chanina said. He said, why does the pasuk say in Yirmiyah, it says, Cherev el habadim v'noalu, you take sword to the tricksters or the magicians, v'noalu, and they will be shown to be fools. What does that mean? You take a sword to the magicians, they will be shown to be fools. So the Gemara says, what it means is, Charev al sonen shel talmidei chachamim. You take a sword, not literally, but there should be a sword should be taken against the enemies of Torah scholars. Who are the enemies of Torah scholars? What it really means is people who study Torah improperly. Meaning, sha'oskin bad bivad b'Torah, that they delve in Torah but all alone. Without a chavrusa, without a chabura, without a partner, without a group to study within. So, charev, the Gemara is saying that's bad. Charev al abadim. Charev against the... Again, literally the pasuk seems to mean that you can prove magicians or tricksters to be false by taking a sword against them. But the Gemara is darshing it with regards to Torah. It's learning it out with regards to Torah and saying that there should be a sword. It's a bad thing to be baden, to be, from the word like levad, alone. Bad means on its own. To be alone when it comes to the study of Torah. V'lo od ela shemetapshin. And not only that, but it makes you stupid, foolish. Shenemar v'noalu, as the pasuk says, and they will be proven to be fools. V'lo od ela shechotin. And not only that, but they'll come to sin. So someone who studies all alone, without a chavrusa or without checking and with others, he'll not only become foolish, but he'll come to sin. How do we see that? Because ksiv halcha v'noalu, it says here he'll become a fool. Uksiv hasam, and it says there, it says in Bamidbar Yud Beis, Aaron says to Moshe, don't find sin within us, asher noalnu v'asher chatanu, that we have been foolish and we have sinned. So you see that the word noalnu goes with chatanu. So we have been foolish and we have sinned. So too over here where it says that the Talmidei Chacham will be noal, will become foolish, also that leads to sin. Or you can learn it from here. Where do you see that that being foolish leads to sin? Because it says, No alu sarei tzoan, the sarei tzoan, the officers of this place, tzoan, fooled them, I believe it means. V'hitu es Mitzrayim, and they caused Mitzrayim to go astray. They caused Egypt to go astray. They caused them to sin. So foolishness leads to straying, leads to sin. Amar of Nachman bar Yitzchak. Lama nimshulu divrei Torah ke'etz. Why are the words of Torah compared to wood? Shenamar, where do we find it compared to wood? Because it says, Eitz chaymi lamachazikim ba. That it's a tree of life for those who strengthen it. That the Torah is like a tree of life. It's a tree, it's wood. So why is the Torah compared to wood? V'omar lecha, to teach you. Ma eitz katar madlikas hagadol. Just like a small piece of wood can light up a large piece of wood, or is needed to light up a large piece of wood, meaning if you want to start a fire, you can't take two logs and rub them against each other. I mean, as far as I know. You need to have small pieces of wood, twigs, that's the best way to start a fire. So and then you make a fire on a small piece of wood, and that lights up the large piece of wood. So just like with wood, you need a small piece to light up a large piece, so too with Torah. Af Talmidei Chachamim, Torah scholars as well, Chachamim Ketanim Mechadidim Es HaGedolim. The small ones are the ones that sharpen and light up the greater ones. That ultimately the teachers learn from the students become greater only because of their students. V'hainu davar Rabbi Chanina. And that is what Rabbi Chanina famously said. He said, Harbe lamadti me'rabosai. I learned a lot from my rebbeim, from my teachers. U'mechavera yoser me'rabosai. And I learned even more from my friends than from my teachers. U'mitalmida yoser mikulan. And from my students I learned the most. Famous saying of Rabbi Chanina, I learned much from my teachers, I learned even more from my friends, but I learned the most from my students. Rabbi Chanina bar Papa Rami. Rabbi Chanina bar Papa asked, Ksiv, it says, on the one hand it says in Mishlei, it says in Yeshaya, Likras Tzame Heisayu Mayim. To greet someone thirsty, bring water. Bring water to someone who is thirsty. Uksiv, but it also says, much later in Yeshaya, it says, Hay, kol tzamei l'chul hamayim. It says, anyone who's thirsty should go to water. So which one is it? The first pasuk says, if there's someone thirsty, you should go bring them water. And the other one says, if you're thirsty, you should go to water. So which one is it? Does someone who's thirsty have water brought to them, or do they go to water? So the Gemara says, what it's telling you, what's the water here? The water here is Torah. And it's saying, Im Talmid Haguhu, if he's a proper student, a dedicated student, so then, Likras Tameh Sayumayim, then go out to greet him, go bring him the water. V'ilo, but if not, then when he's thirsty, he should come. But one need not extend efforts to someone who is not interested. Meaning if someone has expressed desire to learn, then you should go after them. A Rebbe should go after them. Make the effort, because they've expressed it. You must bring them the water, you must bring them the Torah. But if someone has not expressed any interest, so then you may wait for them to come to you. Rabbi Chanina bar Chama Rami. Rabbi Chanina bar Chama has a contradiction. Ksiv, on the one hand it says, this one is in Mishlei, it says, Yafutsu mainosecha chutza, that your springs will spread out. Uksiv, and then it says in the very next verse, it says, Yiyu lecha levadecha. They'll be for you alone. So it's referring to Torah, or it could be referring to Torah. And on the one hand it says the spring will spread out, and on the other hand it says it will be for you alone. So which one is it? It's a contradiction. So the Gemara says, excuse me, Im Talmud Hagumhu, if the person is a proper student, so then Yafutsu minus Echa, then you should spread out your springs. Again, the same idea. You should, well, not just go out to him, but Rashi says here that you should let it all out. You should tell him even the deep secrets if he's a good student. However, v'imlav, but if not, you levadecha, it should be to you alone, meaning you should hold back, don't reveal everything to someone who is not a proper student. Rabbi Chanina bar Idi, Rabbi Chanina bar Idi also said, Lama nimshlu divrei Torah lamayim. Why is Torah compared to water? Where do we find that it's compared to water? Because it says, like we said before, in Yeshaya, it says, one who is thirsty should go to water. And it's talking about the Torah there. So why is Torah compared to water? It's to tell you. Just like water, it starts in a high place and it always goes down, right? All rivers flow downwards. There's water on the mountain, it always flows downwards into the lakes. So just like water leaves the high place and goes and settles in the lower place, af divrei Torah, so too divrei Torah, en miskaiming al b'misha daito shvela, they only remain with someone who makes themselves lowly, is humble. If somebody is arrogant, so then, just like the high mountain, the water doesn't stay there, the Torah doesn't stay on a high place. Someone who makes himself high and haughty. Where does it stay? It remains with someone who makes himself low and humble. Second wide line, Ve'amar Rabbi Yoshia, Lama nimshlu divrei Torah l'shlosha mashkin halalu. Why is Torah compared to all three types of liquids, drinks that are referred to in that pasuk? What are they? B'mayim, u'v'yayin, u'v'chalav. Water, wine, and milk. Tichsiv, because that pasuk actually says, it says, Hay kol tzamei l'chul hamayim. Whoever is thirsty, go to water. And then it says, and even if you don't have money, you could go buy. And go buy, even without money, go buy l'chu shivru v'achalu l'chu shivru below kasef v'lo mechir yayin v'chalav. Go buy and eat, and go buy without any silver or money yayin v'chalav, wine and milk. And what can you buy for no money? Torah. So it's referring to Torah. Torah one can acquire without any money. So why is the Torah being compared to water, wine, and milk? Says the Gemara, because mash shlosha mashkin halalu ein miskaiming el bepacho shebekelim. Just like these three drinks, they only remain good if you keep them in the lowliest of vessels, meaning a clay jug, as opposed to a fancy gold or silver. But if you want them to stay fresh and to stay good without souring, you should keep them in a clay jug. So after divrei Torah, so too divrei Torah, ing miskaiming el b'misha daito shvela. So too, Torah only will remain good and won't sour for someone who is humble and lowly. But if somebody is, thinks that they're like the gold and the silver, so then the Torah is not going to remain with them; it will sour. And we have a story that affirms this, where the daughter of the Caesar, the Roman Caesar, said to Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya the following. She said, She said, "Whoa, that there's such wisdom in you, Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, such an ugly vessel." She called him ugly. She said, "You're very wise, but the wisdom is being stored in an ugly vessel." So Amar Allah, so Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya said to her, "Avicha rami chamra b'mani depachra? Does your father keep his wine in clay jugs?" Amar alei el b'mai nirmi. She said, "What else would he keep them in?" Amar Allah, Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya said to her, Atun dechashvisu, you, the Caesar's family, you're very chashav, you're very important. Ramu b'mani dahava v'kaspa. You should keep it in gold and silver jugs. So she thought that was a great idea. Azla v'amra le'lavua. She went and told her father, Ram yalchamra b'mani dahava ksafa. Go put our wine in gold and silver jugs. And they did. And what happened? V'takif. It got sour. It got ruined. Asuva amrule. They came, and meaning the servants came and told the Caesar what had happened. Amar la levarta. He said to his daughter, Man amar lecha hachi. Who told you to do this? Who gave you this terrible idea? Amar le Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya. She said to her father, it was Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya who told me to do it. Karyuhu, they called him, they summoned him. Amar le, so the Caesar said to him, Amai amarta lahachi. Why did you tell her to do that? Amar le, he said to him, Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya said back, Ki heicha da amra li, amri la. Just like she said to me, I said back to her. She said to me, whoa, such beautiful, splendorous wisdom in such an ugly vessel. So I was trying to tell her that wine, that it's better protected in something ugly. Just like wine is better protected in something ugly, so too Torah is better protected in someone ugly. The Gemara asks, but what do you mean? There are plenty of handsome people who also have learned and are great Talmidei Chachamim. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya is saying like it's so great that he's ugly and it's better kept in someone who's less than beautiful. But we find many handsome, good-looking people who have successfully retained Torah knowledge. So the Gemara says, top of the next page, it says, Ihavu sanu tvei avu gmiri. It's true, but had they been uglier, then they would have learned even more. Because they would have been more humble. And somebody who is very beautiful and good looking, so it's hard to be humble. And as a result, they'll end up forgetting their learning. But someone who's continuously humble will be able to retain their learning. And so he said it's true. There are good-looking people who have acquired Torah, but they would have acquired even more if they weren't as beautiful. Davar acher, another explanation for these three drinks. Why are they compared to Torah? Mashlosha mashkin halalu ing nefsalin ela b'hesach hadas. Just like these three drinks, they only become ruined b'hesach hadas, if one forgets about them, leaves them. Meaning, again, we're talking about water, wine, and milk. And the Gemara is asserting that as long as you keep on top of them, they'll remain good. Either because you can guard them and prevent other things from falling in. Perhaps also so that they don't become, they don't sit. If they sit, then they can spoil it faster. You have to keep on top of it. So after Torah, ing mishnakling ala b'hesach hadas. So too Torah is only forgetting if there's hesach hadas. If you interrupt, if you don't keep on top of it, and you don't keep coming back to it. But as long as you keep coming back to it and checking on it and reviewing the Torah that you've learned, so then it will be retained, it will remain with someone, just like if you keep coming back and checking on these various drinks, they will also remain good. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.